Here we are in the office of Harry Markowitz, the 1990 Nobel laureate for economics and the father of modern portfolio theory. It's probably a very appropriate setting to have a discussion with Yves Choueifaty, the founder and CEO of Tobam.
I really have to tell you that I'm full of emotion being seated here in the office of Harry Markowitz, because I am the founder of Tobam, but I think that Harry Markowitz is the father of the investment philosophy of Tobam. Harry is often quoted as saying diversification is the only free lunch in finance. And Tobam is only about trying to increase the diversification of the investors.
Harry, telling us all, how did it start? How did you come up with a theory to revolutionize finance?
Well, I was trying to get a PhD in economics. I went to my advisor, and I was interested in diversification and investment. That's very strange. I cannot understand how the world could go so long without anybody saying, how do we diversify our portfolio? Everybody knew you were supposed to diversify your portfolio. You were not supposed to put all your eggs in one basket. And the Bible says you should have 1/3 here and 1/3 there and 1/3 there. But nobody had a theory of how you should do it, how to get the maximum bang for the buck.
The original idea in Tobam was precisely to realize that everybody in our industry talks about diversification after you have really introduced it, but still we are missing a very precise definition of it. In the industry we measure volatilities, tracking errors, alpha, beta, gamma, theta, vega, rho, but there is no measurement of diversification. And the original idea that we had was to try to come up with a measurement of diversification. And the idea was that if we were really able to measure diversification, then we would be able to build a portfolio that maximizes it.
Right. Because Yves and yourself have a lot of parallels, because both of you are essentially mathematicians who have moved onto finance, and to some extent...
No, I'm not a mathematician.
You don't see yourself as a mathematician at all?
No, I was a philosopher. I'm not worth a damn in differential equations, but if you ask what do we know and how do we know it, including, mathematics, that is a branch of mathematics for which I come to naturally. People say I keep changing my field, but my field is what do we know and how do we know it and what are we going to do about it? It's philosophical. I think if you want to know me, you have to meet my library. So here's logic. This is topology and analysis. Here is Bayesian statistics. Let's see. Non-standard analysis, simulation. Bourbaki.
Regarde. Zoé. I'm a mathematician by background, and I like to say that the most important part of mathematics is definitions. If you think about it, mathematics is simply a set of relationships between a set of definitions. I like to tell the story of Bourbaki this way. Nicolas Bourbaki is a very famous French mathematician that has never existed. In fact, in the beginning of the 20th century, a group of mathematicians realized it was becoming more and more difficult for mathematicians to discuss across the globe because of the lack of clear definitions for the mathematical terms they were using. So they decided to gather as a group. They called themselves Nicolas Bourbaki, and they have decided to rewrite mathematics from the beginning in order to try to give every single mathematical object a very precise definition. Very often when I'm asked about my investment philosophy, I try to summarize it in 3 words. I say back to Markowitz. I swear, I really say it this way. I say, this is back to Markowitz.
Thank you. Thank you.